Hey guys, welcome back to Theo's Creative Tutorials, and today I'm going to show you how to make a voting loadout selector. Alright, first off, what you want to do is hop into Creative, and I'll meet you back in the hub. Okay, so first off, you just want to make a blank island, or you can use an existing island as long as you follow what I do. So voting loadout selector, that's what I'm gonna name my map. You can name yours anything, and you can have any map you want, but this is just the example I'm going to use. Alright, so once you are in the game, there's a couple devices you want to grab. First off, you want to grab an RNG device, also known as a random number generator. You want to place that down. All the good snaps, it's better. And okay, customize this. So value limit 2, that's going to be how many loadouts you have. I'm going to have 4 loadouts for this example, so I'm going to set this to 4. Winning value doesn't matter. Your length needs to be the same length as how many loadouts you have. So it should match your value limit 2. So I have 4 loadouts, so I'm going to keep this at 4, the default. So let's go to all options over here actually, and roll time, set this to instant. Pick each number once, set that to yes. Scroll down. Zone, you want to put this not on none. Any of these options, forward, left, right, backwards. I prefer backwards, but it doesn't matter as long as you have a zone direction. And yep, length 4, same thing. And okay. With the visible game, play audio, no, and everything else is preference. So now let's grab a pulse trigger. If you're confused on what this is the sequencer, but it got renamed to pulse trigger. So let's place this here. And just letting you know, make sure the zone of the pulse trigger is facing the RNG device. So this little box over here is from the sequencer or the pulse trigger. Make sure the box is on this device, okay? And you could change the direction if it's not. So go here, change some settings. Looping, you want to set that to infinite. Length, you want to set that to 0.5 so it goes as fast as possible. Zone direction, you could change that if you want to, but make sure it's facing the RNG device. Yeah, so keep like that. So now we are gonna add a trigger. So you want to place this in the first zone. But right now this is confusing to me because yeah, okay, good. So this is the first zone as you see over here. And we're gonna customize this. You can turn these off, but it doesn't matter right now since I'm not going to activate by these anyways. Blah, blah, blah. Trigger sound off. Trigger VFX off. Copy this over. Right over here. You want to copy this over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once you have that set up, get yourself a player counter. Okay, mine is a little bit tilted, but don't ignore that. Let's customize this. Alright, so the target player count, this could be a little confusing. So I would say put this like to your max amount of players divided by your how many loadouts you have. So let's say I'll put like 4 for example for my, so this is how many votes will be registered. So 4 people can vote on this. So depending on how many people you have. But don't set it to like 50 or something, because then it'll take like too long to register the votes. And you don't want that for your players. Unless you do, go ahead. But yeah. So I'll just have this 4. You can have it like 16 something, because all players aren't going to vote for one option. And you could also just play around with it as well. Alright, anyways, just scroll down. Include spectators, no. Enabled on phase, none. Use zone, in zone, zone shape, cylinder. Okay, once you have that, also one more option, I believe it is over here. We need zone visible during game. Yes. Okay. So now that we have the basics set up, we'll get to the loadouts in a second. But we're gonna set things up first. Okay. So trigger 2, trigger 3, trigger 4. So we're gonna go over here. Enable when receiving from trigger 2. This one, in case you have another trigger. The first trigger of the 3. And then disable when receiving from trigger 4. And decrement target player count when receiving from trigger 3. Alright, and reset target player count when receiving from trigger 2. So we are going to continue the loadouts, and let's just make sure we have everything right. Oh yeah. On here, on count succeeds, I forgot to say something. Trigger 4, trigger, just like that. And also, I believe I made a mistake here. Yeah, decrement target player count when receiving from trigger, not trigger 3. And then, yup, everything else is correct. Now we're going to add an item granter. We'll place that really quickly, just right over there. We're going to edit some settings. Enable on game start. No. Receiving players, we'll guess triggering player or all players, whatever your system is going to be. All items. Just play with these settings. All. Okay, and enable when receiving from player counter on count succeeds. Make sure you have it like that. And then we are gonna have, and just like if you want to teleport them somewhere, we'll actually make a system real quick. Just make this again. Enable during phase, none. Blah blah blah. On player entering zone, send event to, or wait on that. But we do know enable when receiving from trigger 4. And then teleporter. We'll just have a teleporter. Like, let's say this is your box fights or whatever, or wherever you want to spawn. And we'll turn these off. They're visible, effects, sound effects. Just blah blah blah. Just play with these settings. And then teleport when receiving from teleport. No. Mutator zone device on entering zone. Alright, there you have it. So now let's go over here and we'll set the other things up. So now on count succeeds, it'll grant the item. So now what you want to do is go over to trigger 3, on triggered, send event to pulse trigger, start the sequence, at trigger 4, on triggered, pulse trigger, stop the sequence. Okay. Now, we're going to make a little timer for ourselves. For the sake of this video, we'll just do 15 seconds. You can put it to wherever you want. And we'll say, choose your loadout. Yeah, game start. Start timer at game start on. Seconds only. Choose your loadout. This is what's actually gonna be visible to people. And then yeah. And then we're gonna copy this over actually. And you could just put that as whatever. I'm gonna put this for 5 seconds. make sure you put start timer game start off, and running timer running text, just put calculating or whatever you want, just so we can see which one is the correct vote. And then start when receiving from the original timer. So timer device. And I just want to make this clear. This has an automatic tiebreaker. That's what the RNG device is for. So if there's a tie, it'll randomly select the winner. Okay. So now on success, we'll go to trigger 4. Trigger, and then on success is this one. You want to trigger 3. On success, trigger 3, trigger. Okay. So now what you want to do is copy, select this player counter, select this trigger, and select this item granter, and you want to copy them over to each zone, just like what I'm doing here. Okay, now that you have copied them over, we are going to go to this teleporter or whatever you want to grant their items on, and then on teleported, you want an item granter, just item granter 2, item granter 3, item granter 4. You want to grant all of these item granters to the player. And just wait a second, you might be confused. Just make sure all the item granters you have grant the items here. And you might be wondering now, wait, but if I want one loadout, why do I have to grant all of them? So on default, all of these are going to be disabled. So if you grant them a loadout while it's disabled, it won't grant you anything. And when the loadout is chosen, only one will be enabled. So that means either though it's trying to get all 4, it'll only give you one loadout, which is the winning loadout. So now let's add guns here. Say I get a sharp tooth shotgun, green, blue, purple, gold. Okay, green, blue, purple, gold. Okay, and quick reminder, something that I forgot to show in the video. I want you to grab a round settings device for this to work. Get this and get it on round, or if you only want to select your loadout on one round, then just do round 1, but just for this video I'll just do all rounds. And then you want to, on round start, you want to trigger 2. So trigger 2, trigger. And also one more thing, I think it would actually be better to on success turn the mutator zone on here, enable here, and then go back to the mutator zone and remove the trigger 4 on triggered, and that way. Okay, now that we have that set up, we can start the game. Alright, choose your loadout. We have 15 seconds. So when I enter this, it shows 1 out of 4. And when I enter this, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4. See, I can vote for any of these, but I want the gold. Okay, I'm going to vote for the gold. It's calculating. So if you have a lot of people, it'll calculate it. But yeah, you don't need to add the calculating thing, but I just like it better. And it gave me the gold sharp tooth shotgun. And just to test it out, we'll do it one more time. Alright, so as I said, we are gonna do this one more time, and I want the blue one. So I'll go ahead for the blue sharp tooth, and as you can see, the number went up. And I will explain how this works after we stop. Okay, and we have the blue sharp tooth. And if you want, you could turn down the amount of seconds for the calculating timer. And you don't have to have that at all. I just like that. And just a quick rundown on how this works. Alright, at the beginning, on the round start, this trigger is triggered. This is what initiates the voting process. It enables these 4, unless you if you don't want it to start at game start, then you could start this on whatever. And then once everybody has voted, this timer finishes and it triggers this, which starts the tally. So this kind of calculates what won. And if there's a tie, it'll randomly select the winner. And then this is to end the voting. So it stops the tally, it ends everything, and yeah, just a quick rundown on how that works. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial, and if you guys want to see more, make sure to ask in the comments section down below. And if you guys need help with any Fortnite creative map, make sure to join my Discord server, link in description. Without further ado, hope you guys have a great day, and that's all. Thanks for watching.